We'll be on in just a short few minutes, but I wanted to show this senior day here at Jimmy John's Field in Utica, Michigan. And the three seniors able to catch the first pitch thrown out by each of their, what looks like parents. So a great moment there. But in just a few minutes, we'll be right back as the Blue Devils attempt to grab a number 1 or 2 seed here at Jimmy John's Field in Utica, Michigan. We'll be right back. Sunny but chilly on this last weekend of conference play here in the WAC as both the Wolverines and the Blue Devils attempt to pick up a couple of big wins here before the WAC playoffs begin just next week. I'm Chase Kaufman here with you in Utica, Michigan at Jimmy John's Field as we get set for some playoff push baseball. I am excited to be here. The last weekend of the conference, of the season for the conference play, and both teams looking to pick up a couple big wins as we head into the WAC playoffs. And the leadoff hitter, Andrew Capone, reaches on 4 pitches. So not a great start for Matt Blunk, who is on the mound today for the Blue Devils. We last saw Matt Blunk just on Tuesday against Concordia through a complete game, only gave up 5 hits on 2 runs. And had a whopping 12 strikeouts that game. That one misses high as well. Shaking off his shoulders a little bit, trying to work out the kinks. And that's kind of what happened last week, too. He got behind in the count early to a lot of hitters, but then as the game rolled on, he really started to get back into the groove. And obviously, you see his stat line, 5 hits, 2 runs, 12 strikeouts. Definitely got into that groove. 1-1 now. That one grounded down the left field line. Sean Hannibal, the shortstop, now batting. 1-2. Nobody down. Blunk throws over. We'll see Alec Wichakowski in the second game of this doubleheader, this all-important doubleheader for both teams. And I'll get along with that throughout the day, along with the other games that are going on today in the WAC, as well as tomorrow's games, the standings, how many teams make it, who's clinched, who's eliminated from the playoffs. But we'll get through it. Hannibal softly grounds one down third base line. Robinette makes the nice play, picks it up foul. Still 1-2. The lefty delivers the 1-2. A breaking ball misses inside at 73 miles an hour. You'll see Blunk go to that breaking ball a lot today. When he pitched against Concordia, he only allowed a 2-run shot in the 6th inning. That was his only blemish on the scorecard. And really his breaking ball pitches were what he went to for the majority of the game as Hannibal drills one to right field for a single. So the first 2 men on here in the top of the first for the Wolverines. Daniel Kerr, the catcher, now at the plate. Blunk steps off. That pitch misses as well. 2-0 now. Daniel Kerr, one of the better hitters on this Wolverine team, bats .374, has a triple and a home run this season. Takes one for a strike there, 2-1. Slugging percentage of .511, on base percentage about .440. So he's getting to that 1,000 OPS, which is obviously a very good OPS. Nice breaking ball in for a strike to make it 2-2 now. This one fouled away. Blunk's got one of those bulldog mentalities. Obviously very competitive as he went 9 innings his last start. And I would assume he's going to try to do the same thing here today as the Blue Devils have another doubleheader tomorrow. They'll be taking on UNOH. That one just misses. Bit of a tight strike zone, it seems, early here for the home plate umpire. Counts full now. Capone, the runner at second. Hannibal at first. 3-2 misses outside. He lost him. So rough early start here for Blunk as the bases are loaded with still nobody out. And we're going to get a pinch runner for the Wolverines. That is number 23, Cole Van Wagner. Antonio Carta, the third baseman, will now try to drive in a few runs early against the Blue Devils. Check swing foul. Antonio, a .244 hitter, also has a home run on the season. 27 strikeouts, however, on base percentage of just .323. 0-1. Work with me here on the graphics. I'm doing this by myself today, so I'll get back into the groove. 0-2. All right. Now bases loaded, and 0-2. Here's the 0-2. Misses outside. 1-2 now. This happened last week too. Blunk really set his pitch count pretty high, had to work it down in the upcoming innings. Did just that, had a few innings with 10 pitches. This one's popped up, a blooper. This is out to center field, and Eddie Dobkowski's there. The throw home will be cut off. So a sac fly scores the first run of the game for the Wolverines to give them a 1-0 lead. As Capone touches home plate. Capone has the speed to where that ball was hit just deep enough to get him home. Didn't really have a shot at throwing him out. Oh, and 1 on Ryan Beadle, the designated hitter. Ryan, a .270 hitter. 0-1, a breaking ball in for a strike. 0-2. So now Blunk really starting to get that feel out there on the mound. Has been ahead in the count the last 2 batters now. So we'll see how we can deal with this the rest of the game. And hopefully that 1 run is all he'll allow this inning. 0-2, another off-speed pitch. Beadle in front of it, grounds it down the left field line, foul. 0-2 now on Beadle. He's been hit 9 times this season, just 19 strikeouts, 11 walks. Here's the 0-2. And that one's going to get out of play. That was a high fastball, high and away that he chased. We'll see if he goes for another giveaway pitch. Here's the 0-2 again. This one, outside pitch, grounded to second. Takes a look at second was Grizel. Decides to make the safe play and give it over to Corbett to put away the second out of the inning. So the runners advance. Now we got Hannibal on third, and the pinch runner, Cole Van Wagener, at second. Now we got 2 outs here, and the Wolverines lead 1-0. Justin Dolney, the first baseman, now at the plate. This one popped up in the infield. Not high. Blunk makes the play, so Blunk gets out of a bases-loaded jam, giving up just 1 run after a sac fly from Antonio Carta. Led to the bottom of the first, so the Blue Devils will try to pick that run back up. This is the Lawrence Tech Sports Network. Eddie Dobkowski will lead us off here in the bottom of the first as the Blue Devils try to come back from that 1-0 deficit. Matt Blunk let the first 3 batters of the inning reach, was fortunate enough to get a sac fly and the next 2 guys out, only to let 1 runner cross the plate. One and 1 to Dobkowski, the center fielder. Make that 2-1. Dobkowski has been the leadoff hitter in conference play for much of the season. And Dobkowski batting .310 overall. Not too much power behind him, but he does have speed. 14 stolen bases this season. Pops one up, that'll go foul out of play. 2-2 now. Off-speed pitch got him at 68 miles an hour. So one down for the Blue Devils. on the mound for the Wolverines is Malcolm Harris. Malcolm hasn't gotten much work yet this season. This is just his third start. ERA is up there at 16.34 in 12 innings pitched. He's given up 23 earned runs. But he had a nice breaking pitch, as you just saw, against Dobkowski, so we'll see if he can do anything with that throughout the day. That fastball misses inside at 75 miles an hour. 2-2 now, or 2-0 rather. Three 0 on Harry Storch, the shortstop. Harry's been a bit of a nice find this season in terms of offensive production. He came into this team as a middle reliever, coach said, and he's really turned into one of the better two-way players on this team. Now 3-1. Harry is actually the only player on this team who's batting better in conference play than he is overall. And he walks on 5 pitches there. So Storch reaches once again, and his on-base percentage now pushing 500, batting .333 on the season. So he's having quite a season in that 2 spot. Now Sean Fannin will try to do something here. Sean, obviously one of the better hitters on this team, batting .369 this season. 3 home runs, 6 triples, 11 doubles. That pitch hits the upper outside corner for a strike. Getting better at this graphic stuff. It's going to take me a little while to get used to. Typically, there's someone else here doing the graphics with me, but the LTU spring football game is also being broadcasted today, so obviously that's going to take a lot of hands to work with that. So I'm doing what I can. 1-1. Harris waits, delivers the 1-1, an off-speed pitch that got Fannin right on the jersey. Fannin just let it hit him at 66 miles an hour. So after Dobkowski strikes out, Storch reaches on a walk, and Fannin reaches on a hit by a pitch. Now the Blue Devils are cooking here. The Blue Devils and the Wolverines came into today with the 2 highest batting average in the conference, both tied at .305. And the Blue Devils are up there in pitching and defensive-wise, but the Wolverines are in the lower half for pitching categories, specifically ERA this season. Dearborn is 9th in the conference in ERA. And they're in the bottom half of just about every pitching category. Runs given up, ERA. We're going to get a quick mound visit here. It's 1-0, 1 down. Runners on first and second. Dearborn 9-9 in the conference, just 16-22 overall. 4 games left. Obviously, the 2 games here against LTU today, and they have 2 against Rochester tomorrow. Still fighting for one of those top 6 spots in the playoffs. There are a couple games back, but if they happen to split here today against LTU and take both against Rochester tomorrow, definitely have an outside shot still at reaching the top 6. So Harris steps back on, Fannin steps back in, and here's the 1-1, or 1-0. Make it 2-0. Storch and Fannin will advance to third and second. Brian Corbett's now at the plate, rather. Brian been a bright spot this season in terms of offensive production, batting .359, and that kind of solidified his spot at first base. Coach said they had an abundance of first basemen, but Corbett's average obviously giving him that spot to maintain that role over there. Pops this one up out to right field. That's Patrick Downing calling it. Makes the play. Storch tags to home, and that'll be cut off by the first baseman, Justin Dorney. Fannin advances to third, and the Blue Devils have tied this game up 1-1 here in the bottom of the first. So a nice job by Corbett there, doing his job, getting the run in, and even moving Fannin up from second to third. A nice heads-up base running play by Fannin there to see the throw coming in to home rather quickly, and Fannin made the nice play knowing it wasn't going to third. Took that extra base. We'll see if Jackson Walkowiak can drive him in. Oh, one misses low, 1-1. What's up? It's on deck stats. You know, I'm on 2018. Yeah, I'll make mention of that. Yep. 1-2 now on Walkowiak. And I misspoke earlier. I was talking about the ERA of Malcolm Harris, and I was accidentally looking at the 2018 stats this season, doing obviously a lot better. 5.5 ERA, 3 games started, 18 innings pitched. Sorry about that. Obviously a lot better. Fannin, the runner at third. Walkowiak softly grounds one to Harris. Harris makes the nice play over to first and gets out of that jam. So both Blunk and Harris get into a bit of a jam. Both let in 1 run. We'll head to the top of the second. This is the Lawrence Tech Sports Network. Yep, no problem. No, you're good, man. I'm glad you let me know that. I would have been rattling off wrong stats the whole time. Right. Cool. Thanks, man. Patrick Downing takes a pitch high for ball 1. Patrick, the right fielder today, takes an outside ball there, 2-0. Going to get back into those stats that I misspoke on even for the offensive side, looking at the entire 2018 stats. But now I got the 2019 stats up. Andrew Capone batting .343. Sean Hannibal batting .346. So this is a Dearborn team that is in the top 2 batting average in the conference for a reason. As that 3-0 pitch sails in for a strike. 3-1 now. And Blanc lost him there. Ball 4. So Blanc really struggling to find the strike zone early here. He let in a 4-pitch walk to start off the game, a single, then another walk. Luckily was able to get out of that inning with just giving up 1 run. But now he's back where he left off, walking Downing on 5 pitches. A bunt here from Quintal, a nice one. Blunt, though, makes the nice play to get Quintal out at first. So a nice play all around there. Quintal does his job, moves the runner up from first to second, and Blunt makes the nice fundamentally sound play and gets the easy out over at first. So Downing now on second. Now the 9-spot hitter, Wayman Lemon Jr., the left fielder, steps in. See what he can do with 1 out and a runner on second. The first pitch misses low, ball 1. That one just hits the outer corner, make it 1-1 now. Blunk's had himself a pretty solid season. I mentioned in the first inning, went 9 innings on Tuesday against Concordia, picked up a big 3-2 victory over them to split that doubleheader. This one is hit a high fly ball deep into left field, but at the edge of the warning track is Wakowiak to make the play. That was hit pretty high. I didn't really think that had a chance to go very deep, but that went to the edge of the warning track. So some sneaky power there from the 9 spot and Lemon Jr., but nonetheless now 2 away. First pitch, a strike. Bear with me here on the graphics. Still trying to work out the kinks. Back to the top of the order, though, Andrew Capone. Andrew walked on 4 pitches back in the first, came around to score off a sac fly from Antonio Carta. And he is the lone run on the Dearborn's line score. 0-2, though, early on him. Giveaway pitch misses outside. 1-2 now. Matt Blunk this season, a 3.25 ERA, 5-1 on the season in 8 games started. 43 strikeouts on the season, 12 of them coming from the last start. So it was an interesting start he had last on Tuesday, just based on the fact that he throws a lot of breaking balls, really won't overpower a lot of hitters, can get into the mid-80s at the most with his fastball, so he doesn't typically strike out a lot of batters. And somehow that one just misses the outside corner. 2-2 now. So it was really impressive to see his breaking ball really work against Concordia to get 12 strikeouts in 9 innings. 1.33 strikeout per inning game. That one fouled back. Downing the runner at second. Downing 4 for 4 on stolen base attempts this season, so a single may be able to get him in. Here's the 2-2. That one misses as well. 3-2 now. So Capone doing a nice job working himself back in the count. Was down 0-2 early. Now pushes it to 3-2. We'll see who can win this battle here between Blunk and Capone. 3-2. Misses way inside. Don't think he hit him, but either way, it was ball 4. So now we got runners on first and second. That's the 3rd walk of the game for Blunk. Sean Hannibal now. He singled into the opposite field back in his first at-bat. Was able to move Capone up to second. Capone obviously eventually came around to score. Out in the field today, Jackson Walkowiak, Eddie Dobkowski, Sean Fannin in the outfield. In the infield, Ryan Robinette at third, Harry Storch at short, Logan Grizel at second, Brian Corbett at first, Matt Blanc obviously on the mound, and Max Cadman, the usual Game 1 catcher, starts out behind the plate. 1-1 to Daniel Kerr. Daniel also walked in his first plate appearance. That was actually the fourth walk of the game from Capone, not the third. This one misses. 2-1. Coach Eldridge told me in a time like this when the pitcher's really struggling to find the strike zone, the catcher tends to give some nonverbal cues to the pitcher, as that one's going to be fouled back out of play behind us. Just to either slow him down, maybe speed him up, just try to get the momentum back on the pitcher's side and end up forcing the hitter to make the mistakes, not for the pitcher to make the mistakes. Matt Blanc, Alec Witrokowski getting the 2 starts today in honor of Senior Day here at Jimmy John's Field. Possibly the last couple home games for the Blue Devils this season. Grounder hit to short. Storch looks at third, but makes an errant throw over to first and pulls Corbett off the bag. Unfortunate error there made by Storch, who's really got good hands over at short. Makes an errant throw, makes the bases loaded, still with 2 out. And that one's going to be an error on Storch. So now Daniel Kerr at the plate. Hannibal reaches on an error. This one gets away from Cadman. That's going to allow a run to score, as well as the runners from first and second to move up. So Downing crosses the plate for the second run for the Wolverines. And Capone advances to third, and Hannibal advances second. So now the force out of play. The only plays at first with 2 outs, and the catcher, Daniel Kerr, at the plate. Daniel batting a whopping .415 this season. OPS over 1,000. Gets on base more than half the time. Takes a strike there, 1-1. Hope everybody's having a fabulous day on this cold spring Saturday. That one misses low, 2-1. I'm a Tigers fan, but that game already postponed tonight in Chicago. Apparently supposed to have some winter storms. So I guess it's not just Michigan with the do whatever you want weather. But late April, you don't expect to see winter storms in the weather forecast. 2-2 now. A nice pitch on the lower part of the plate from Blunt to Kerr. Speaking of Kerr, Steve Kerr and the Warriors outlasting the Clippers in a tight 6-game series. 2-2 now. That one hits the outside corner, strike 3. You got him. So Blanc, after allowing a leadoff walk, gets one comes around to score on a wild pitch. Nothing else there. Blue Devils now down 2-1. We'll head to the bottom of the second. This is the Lawrence Tech Sports Network. Logan Barker will lead off the Blue Devils as they try to get another run back here in the bottom of the first. Blunk having a bit of trouble finding the strike zone early. He's got 4 walks so far. A couple of them have ended up coming around to score, and that's how the Wolverines lead here 2-1. Three and one on Logan Barker, the designated hitter. Make that 3-2. Harris' pitch hits the outer part of the plate, make it full. Barker batting .281. Does not go on that pitch. Ball 4. Pitcher and catcher not very happy about that call. Not sure if they thought he went or if it was a called third strike anyways. It was definitely close for both. But either way, Barker, the leadoff hitter, will advance to first. Ryan Robinette, the third baseman, will now bat. Ryan batting .283 in the 7 spot. First pitch in for a strike. Robinette grounds one down to third. This will go foul. So 0-2 early on him. So each team in the WAC starting to get in that end of the season, trying to make a run at either one of the top 2 spots to host a playoff game or two, or to try to get in that top 6 just to get into the playoffs. Robinette grounds one to short off the shortstop. Sean Hannibal gives it over to Quintal for 1. Quintal holds it, and Robinette has a fielder's choice. Barker out at second. Now the lefty Max Cadman will step in. Robinette now the runner over at first as Harris steps off. So as I was saying, each team will play 22 games in conference play. 12 teams will play each team twice for a total of 22. And really, in terms of clinching playoff berths, the only team that has clinched a playoff berth is Indiana Tech. They won last night against Siena Heights. They actually mercied them through 7. Now they lead the conference at 14-4, 2 games ahead of second, which is Madonna and Lawrence Tech. And they've clinched the first playoff berth. And there still could be other random things happen throughout the rest of this season as Cadman drills one down the right field line. That's fair. Robinette rather, heading around third. He's going to score. And we got a stand-up triple here for Ryan Robinette, who ties the game up at 2 apiece. So a nice piece of hitting there from Robinette. Or Cadman, rather. And Robinette comes around to score, tie this game up with just 1 out here in the bottom of the second. So runner on third now for the Blue Devils as Logan Grizel will step up to the plate. I believe that's Cadman's first triple on the season. It is. Not much of a speedy threat. He's only got a couple stolen bases and 3 doubles on the season, so it's a nice hit for him there. Gives himself an extra RBI, and more importantly, ties this game up. Logan Grizel, the 9-spot hitter, now steps in, the second baseman. Logan batting .233, has typically switched on and off of that second base position in terms of double headers with Nick Allen. Typically, Grizel will start game 1. Nick Allen comes in for game 2. Obviously, depending on the day, if Grizel has a solid day, 2 for 4, 3 for 4, 4 for 4, whatever, we'll sometimes get that second game start as well. But Nick Allen has been batting .281 this season, so pretty solid so far. So if Grizel just doesn't have it, as he hits a soft line drive out to short for the second out, then Nick Allen will typically come in and take over in that second game. So now 2 down with Cadman, the runner, at third, but now we're back to the top of the order. Eddie Dobkowski will step to the plate. First pitch hits the inner part of the plate, strike 1. Chase Kaufman here, glad to be here with you. Dobkowski hits a soft grounder to second, and that's John Quintal to make the play. So the Blue Devils get the first runner on, a fielder's choice by Robinette. But however, Cadman triples down the right field line to bring in Robinette. And Cadman gets his first triple of the season and brings in the second run of the game. 2-2 tie here at Jimmy Gents Field. This is the Lawrence Tech Sports Network. First pitch from Blunkin for a strike. Another breaking ball. You'll see a lot of those today. The batter is number 25, Antonio Carta, and he hits a single out to right field, an opposite field single. Carta starting himself off with a pretty solid day, a sac fly back in the first, and now a single here in the third. So for the third straight inning, the leadoff runner for the Wolverines is on. The leadoff batter is on. First pitch in for a strike to Ryan Beadle. Ryan grounded to second in his first at bat. Blunk's pitch misses high. 1-1. 2-2 tie here on the top of the third, Jimmy John's Field. Wind blowing from left to right as it typically has been these last few weekends. And Beadle drills one to left field. That's going to drop for a single. So now the first two batters have reached here in the top of the third. Justin Dolney now at the plate. Justin popped up to Blunk to end the first inning. Blunk got out of that bases loaded jam with no outs, just giving up one run. Dolney just batting .269 this season. Does have 3 home runs, however. That pitch is in for a strike, 1-1. Wolverines with 4 hits and 4 walks so far, and we're only in the top of the third inning. So this heavy hitting Wolverine team really bringing it to Blunk today. Nice pitch there at 77, 1-2. So if Blunk can't bring his A game today, the LTU hitters are going to have to pick him up, which is possible. The Wolverines are in the bottom half of most pitching categories, but they are near the top of a lot of hitting categories as well. So expect to see maybe a high-scoring game here today. That one just fouled, 1-2 still. So back to the WAC standings. Currently, Indiana Tech leads the conference at 14-4. They are taking on the 6th seed currently, Cornerstone, as Dolney drills one into left field. Now the bases are loaded. They'll hold the runner Carter up at third. And once again, Matt Blunk is going to have to work out of another jam, bases loaded, no outs. So back-to-back singles to lead off the third from the Wolverines. And this is why they lead the league in average. Well, tied with the Blue Devils in average. Not a ton of power on this team, but they can hit. First pitch misses, 1-0. Blunk getting into the 70s now already with his pitch count, and we're still in the third inning, nobody out. The 1-0 fouled back, 1-1. I know pitch count isn't really a huge deal for Coach Eldridge. He kind of looks at whether they're keeping the ball elevated in the strike zone with or without velocity. But over time, that pitch count obviously going to be in correlation with the velocity. You're not going to be at 200 pitches still throwing 85 miles an hour out there. So we'll see how that translates throughout the day. That one fouled away, 1-2 now. Blunk obviously can throw a lot of pitches if need be, but he just pitched on Tuesday. He's gone to about 130 pitches in one start this inning, another complete game. But at this rate, he's not going to get through 9 innings at 130 pitches. That one misses outside. Tight strike zone here today. 2-2 now to Patrick Downing. Patrick led off the second inning with a walk, came around to score. And this one is driven out to left field, and this is going to drop. Center fielder Dobkowski comes up with it, able to hold everybody just to get one base. But the Wolverines find a way to get another run here in the third inning. Now with one in the first, one in the second, and one in the third to give them a 3-2 lead. And Coach Eldred is going to come have a word with Blanc. It's now 4 singles in a row given up by Blanc. John Quintal gonna come to the plate. Already 5 singles. Or 6 rather for the Wolverines. And still nobody out here in the top of the third. So we'll see if Coach Eldred gave Blanc a few words of wisdom here. Try to get out of this jam with minimal damage. Here's the first pitch. 79 miles an hour, swing and a miss from Quintal. Quintal just batting .220 this season. Does have a home run, however. Here's the 0-1 now. That pitch hits the outer corner, 0-2. Beadle, the runner at third, Dolney, the runner at second, and Downing, the runner at first. All single to get on. Downing, his was an RBI single to drive Encarta and make the game 3-2. That one misses outside, 1-2. Left fielder, Walkowiak, pretty shallow, playing pretty far right as well. Dobkowski shades a bit right. Fannin, normal depth. This pitch is fouled back. One and two now. That one hits the outer part of the corner. Nice pitch there. Breaking ball, strike 3. Gets Quintal looking. So Blanc getting back on track here, and I would say if he can get out of this inning only allowing 1 run, be quite the miracle. Now the 9-hitter, Wayman Lemon Jr. comes in. Wayman flew out to left field back in the 2nd inning. It was a deep fly ball right at the edge of the warning track and hit it pretty high, so he does have the power to send one out if he gets a hold of one. And Lemon Jr. calls time. And that pitch gets away from Cadman. Luckily, Beadle didn't have a great jump, and his momentum was taking him back to third. Couldn't get to home in time. It looked like Cadman didn't really have it all the way. It looked like he wanted to get a throw down to third, which forced Beadle to get back to third, but Cadman didn't have it in his glove all the way. Thus the pass ball, but nobody advances. It is 1-0. This one grounded down the left field line, foul. 1-1, I believe. So Beadle, the runner at third, Dolney, the runner at second, Downing, the runner at first. Blanc on the mound, the 1-1. Misses inside, 2-1. Blanc reaching 80 now on the pitch count. Top of the order coming up for the Wolverines. You want to do what you can here at the 2-1. Shows bunt, goes foul though. Squeeze play was on. And if he would have gotten that down, the runner Beetle easily would have made it home. There is one out. Still getting ready with these graphics. So now the 2-2 to Lemon Jr. Speed pitch 73 miles an hour, fouled back. Third inning was led off by Carta, who singled. Beetle then singled, Dolney singled, and then Downing singled, driving in Carta. Ones all across the board right now for both teams. One in the first, one in the first, one in the second, now one in the third. Here's the 2-2. Again, fouled back, 72 miles an hour this time. That breaking ball has been the pitch all season for Blanc. I have a hard time thinking he's going to get away from it here. Two again. This one misses high, make it full. Blanc does not want to lose this hitter here. Obviously, if he does, he'll walk in a run, but then that just brings it to the top of the order. And the top of the order, very good hitting team. This one softly grounded in front of the plate. Cadman makes a nice play, steps on home, delivers a strike to Corbett, and ends the inning. So Blanc, who gives up 4 singles in a row to start off the inning, gets Quintal looking, gets Lemon Jr. to hit a soft grounder to Cadman. Cadman makes the nice play, steps on home, delivers a strike to first. And the Blue Devils miraculously get out of the inning, giving up just 1 run. We'll try to get that run back in the bottom of the third. This is the Lawrence Tech Sports Network. Harry Storch takes a ball alone outside as he leads off the Blue Devils here in the bottom of the third. Blue Devils down 3-2. And Storch drills one to third. A nice play there made by Antonio Carta, who makes the nice throw as well to get a speedy Storch. If you happen to miss it last inning, Blanc led off the third with 4 singles in a row. Was able to get Quintal looking on a strikeout, and then Lemon to softly ground in front of the catcher, and Cadman made a nice play to step on home plate and throw over to first to have an inning-ending double play. So luckily, as Fannin drills one up the middle for his second single of the game. As I was saying, luckily Blanc able to get out of 2 bases loaded, no out jams, giving up just 1 run in each of those innings. So nice job from him. Brian Corbett now at the plate. He flew out to right in his first at-bat. Fannin off on the first pitch, and Corbett is drilled in the left arm, so dead ball. Fannin will take his base. No stolen base for him, and Corbett will head over to first. So a pretty solid start here for the Blue Devils, trying to get that game back to a tie. One out, runners on first and second. If you happen to see the line score, it said that LTU has 2 errors on the day. They do have none. So just make note of that. For some reason, the line score won't change on me, even though I have 0 typed in. There was a close call from Storch, who made a errant throw over to first, but I don't keep official score, and officially they ruled that as a hit. Oh, 0-1 on Jackson Walkowiak, the left fielder. That one just misses. 1-1. Walkowiak ended the first inning, softly grounding out to the pitcher, Harris. 1-1 to Walkowiak. Harris, a slower worker than typical, especially what you'll see on LTU's side. That one misses outside. LTU likes to get a pitch delivered every 10 to 12, 10 to 15 seconds or so. But Harris looks like he likes to take his time, which is fine. You know, different things for everybody. I like to always go slow when I pitch. Obviously, that was back a few years ago in high school, but that's just what I like to do. Everybody's got their own tendencies. That one 2-2. Dearborn in their second season. Last season, they didn't do great, but it was an inaugural season. Obviously, LTU men's baseball didn't do as well their first season either. That one misses. Catcher can't find it. Fannin and Corbett both advance. So now no force out in play, except for at first, of course. And Walkowiak's got a couple RBIs sitting there on second and third now. Anyways, last season, Dearborn's baseball team went 6-23 in the conference. And just like that, after a year in their inaugural season, now they're 9-9 in the conference, fighting for a playoff berth. So they're doing a really nice job, and they're moving quickly to get into one of those, to be one of the best teams in the WAC. They're tied for first in average, and you're seeing why today. Their hitting is pretty good. They already have 5 singles today and a few walks. So very good team at the plate. The 3-2, grounded foul once again. However, pitching obviously still needs a little bit of work. They're in the lower half for most of those categories. But as I messed up earlier in the first inning, I said, oh, and there's a hit by pitch from Walkowiak there to load the bases. That last season, Harris's ERA was above 16, and this year he's got it down to just a little over 5. Obviously, probably still not where he'd like it to be, but obviously much better than 16. So I would have to guess that every game, every weekend, this team is getting a little better. We're going to get a pitching change here, it looks like. So Harris got the first out of the inning, left the bases loaded, though. And we'll get a pitching change. So we'll be right back here on the Lawrence Tech Sports Network. So a pitching change for the Wolverines. That brings in Dan Boss as he delivers a first pitch swinging strike to Logan Barker. A short outing for Malcolm Harris, who left the bases loaded with one out for Boss. We'll get to Harris's final line after this inning, but Boss is a 5.63 ERA, 7 games started this season. Delivers that in first strike, 0-2 on Barker. Boss, 5.63 ERA, opposing batting average of .286, has 23 strikeouts on the season. See if he can get one here. He's ahead in the count early, 0-2. Misses that one low. Doesn't get past the catcher, Daniel Kerr, though. 1-2. Malcolm Harris had a couple hit by pitches to end his day. Also gave up a couple singles and a couple walks. So his command just wasn't really there today. Thus, Dan Boss now in the game. 1-2 now on Barker. Center fielder shaded a bit left. Here's the 1-2. And that breaking ball just hits the inside corner to ring up Barker for the second out of the inning. Bases still loaded. Ryan Robinette now at the plate. Ryan grounded into a fielder's choice back in the second. Ended up scoring off of Max Cadman's triple. See what he can do here with 2 down. Hits a grounder up to the shortstop, who throws it over to John Quintal for the third out of the inning. So Dan Boss of the Wolverines does a nice job coming in, getting the next 2 out with the bases loaded, allowing no runs. And the first 0 is up on the board for either team. Michigan-Dearborn leads this game as we head to the top of the 4th, 3-2. This is the Lawrence Stock Sports Network. Blanc back out for his 4th inning of work as the top of the order steps up for the Wolverines. Andrew Capone at the plate. Sean Hannibal is waiting on deck. This one hit a high fly ball into center field. Eddie Dobkowski covers out the sun and puts it away for the first out of the inning. So the leadoff hitter finally retired for the Wolverines. And we'll see if that puts Blanc into a bit of a momentum swing after getting out of the last inning, giving up just 1 run on 4 straight leadoff hits. But Blanc was at 83 pitches through 3 innings, so we'll keep an eye on that to see how long he'll be able to go this game. Do have a pitcher warming up in the bullpen. That one misses badly inside. 1-1, or 1-0 rather. That one fouled back. Sean Hannibal, the shortstop, he is 1 for 1 today. Hit an opposite field single back in the first. This one, a soft grounder to third. Robinette gloves it, makes a nice throw over. And Corbett had the ball but had to come off the bag a little bit for it. And it looked like as he was reaching over for the ball, the runner interfered with him a little bit. He was still in the base path. It is what it is. But he looked to knock the ball out of Corbett's glove. But the umpire called him safe. And Coach Eldred getting an explanation right now. And Coach Eldridge, a pretty mild-mannered guy, just heads back to the dugout. Coach Eldridge always willing for a few questions pregame. I always appreciate that. And one of the questions I got to asking him was last week, well, actually on Tuesday, where the Blue Devils were playing against Concordia, allowed a 2-run home run shot in the 6th to put them up 3-2, and then Brian Corbett led off the inning with a double, advanced to third on error, is why he decided to pinch hit Jared Roth for Logan Barker, and basically told me it was because of the lefty-righty matchup, which I figured it was. Just wanted to get into his thought process a little bit as Daniel Kerr drills one foul. This one, a grounder to second. Grizel can't field it cleanly. Does make the play over at first, though. So nice job of staying with it there. Probably wasn't going to get the out at second anyways, so we ended up getting the guy at first. So now 2 down. Hannibal moves up to second. Kerr with a ground out. And Antonio Carta now in the box. And we'll see if he can do anything with a runner at second and 2 outs. First pitch misses outside. Blunk in the 90s now in this pitch count, only through 4 innings. Not even, actually. But he's starting to sink in nicely now. I think getting out of that 3rd inning, only giving up 1 run, definitely gave him a little bit of life. Because the way it was looking after 4 straight leadoff singles, wasn't looking good to only give up 1 run in that 3rd inning. A throw down to second, nothing there. Here's the 2-0 now to Carta. Carta 1 for 1 and a sac fly today. Fouls that one back 2-1. Sac fly drove in Andrew Capone back in the first, and then his leadoff single back in the 3rd was the only run to come around that inning, luckily. Here's the 2-1, misses outside, 3-1. Hannibal out at second. He's got 7 stolen bases on the season, so it's 3-1 here. We'll see if he does anything. Doesn't go. That one misses. Gets away from the catcher. Hannibal won't go. But looks like they called it a strike anyways. It looked like it was close. Cadman just didn't catch the ball to give the umpire an easy call, but gave it to him anyways. So now full count. Hannibal will be on the move. A single would score him. And here's the 3-2. Grounder, soft one to Robinette. Robinette fields it and makes the nice throw over to first to end the inning. So a fly out, a single, and a couple more outs, end the inning with no runs coming to the plate. Blue Devils down 3-2. We'll head to the bottom of the fourth. This is the home for Lawrence Tech Baseball. Back here at Jimmy John's Field in Utica, Michigan, as Max Cadman takes a first pitch high to start the bottom of the fourth inning. Got a couple big games in the LTU sports world today. Both lacrosse teams, the men's and women's, will be taking on Indiana Tech in the lacrosse WAC championships. Currently, the women are playing right now, down 13-5, unfortunately, in the second half. About 15 minutes left to go. So we'll be rooting them on there, and then the men will play later at 5 o'clock. Cadman takes a 3-0 strike. Keep you updated on that, as well as the other games that are going on in the WAC baseball world. Leadoff hitter is on, Cadman, on 5 pitches. Second baseman Logan Grizel will now bat. See if he can do something to help tie this game up at 3 apiece. Grizel tries to bunt, can't get it down fair. Coach Eldridge not very happy about it. So, talk about the WAC playoffs a little bit. Obviously, they begin next week. Top 6 will make the playoffs. Teams 1, 4, and 5 will be in one pod. Teams 2, 3, and 6 will be in another. If you go to WAC.net and look at the baseball tournament schedule, it'll kind of explain how that goes along. As Grizel tries to bunt again, and it looks like it got the catcher, Daniel Kerr, right on the thigh, and he's down. Kind of stretching out his side. Maybe it hit him near the hip. So Kerr will stay in the game, tough it out. 0-2 now, though, on Grizel. That one misses low. So Grizel had a couple chances to move Cadman over to second, but couldn't get the job done. So now we'll have to swing away and see if he can get the job done that way. 1-2. And he hit him. So I guess that counts as getting the job done. Dan Boss, the pitcher, not very happy about that when he got him early, 0-2. Didn't allow him to get a bunt down, so obviously not too happy about giving him a free base there. Dobkowski able to get the bunt down. And a nice play there made by Justin Dorney as well as the second baseman, John Quintal, to cover the bag. Nice wheel play there for the first out of the inning. Dobkowski does his job, moves the runners up to second and third. Now 1 out, runners on second and third. Still trying to get these graphics updated. Sometimes I forget that I'm running the whole show here. Clear that out. And 1 out. So now Harry Storch, one of the better contact hitters on this team, steps to the plate. Harry Storch, obviously I mentioned earlier, the only player on the team that's actually batting better in conference play rather than overall. Storch batting .333 overall in the season coming into today. But in the conference, he's batting .378. So a very solid season he's having. He's only struck out 4 times this season in conference play. He's only struck out 6 times overall the entire season. He's having a really solid season even ever since he became introduced to that starting shortstop role. Hits a grounder to second. There's Quintal. Checks the runner at third. Does not go. And that's Sean Marshall down at third, who came in to pinch run for the catcher, Max Cadman. And it looks like Coach Eldridge wasn't very happy that he didn't go on that pitch. But that's an all-or-nothing kind of play right there. So if you're going to go, you go on the pitch. But as soon as it came to second, he knew there was no way he was going to go now. Don't think he was very happy about that one. So now it's going to be up to Sean Fannin to drive in these 2 runners. First pitch in for a strike. Marshall, the runner at third for Cadman. Logan Grizel, the runner at second, the 0-1. Fouled back out of play. Fannin down early in the count. We'll see if he goes to the fastball again. Boss does at 81 miles an hour. Fannon's still out in front of it. Oh and 2 down. Marshall, the runner at third. And Grizel, the runner at second. Fannin hits a blooper into right. And a nice play made by Quintal there to end the inning. So the Blue Devils get Cadman on as the leadoff walk. Grizel also reaches on a single. But the Blue Devils can do nothing about it. And we'll head to the top of the 5th. Blue Devils down 3-2 at Jimmy John's Field. This is the Lawrence Tech Sports Network. Matt Blunk out for his 5th inning of work as he tries to keep this a one-run game in favor of the Wolverines. First one misses, next one fouled back. So back to this WAC conference. So currently, as I mentioned, the Warriors of Indiana Tech lead the conference by 2 games out of 2nd place. And they're taking on Cornerstone University today in a doubleheader. And then Indiana Tech will play Cleary tomorrow. So LTU is going to need a little bit of help from Cornerstone and Cleary if they want to take first place in the championship. That one misses 3-1 now. LTU currently 2 games back, but technically it's 3 games back just based on the fact that LTU does not have the tiebreaker with the Warriors. They were swept in the first conference doubleheader this season back in March. So technically the Blue Devils 3 games back, so they're going to need to take at least 3 games here and hope that the Warriors somehow manage to lose all the last few games. 3-2, grounded down the left field line, foul. So full count now on the hitter, Ryan Beadle. Ryan, the DH, 1 for 2 today. Has a single back in the 3rd. Blunk's 3-2, driven down to left field, foul. And 3-2 again. Trying to get some score updates for you in these Cornerstone Indiana Tech games. This one popped up, but this will get back out of play into the seats. So 3-2 again. Beadle really making Blunk work for this out. Blunk's pitch count obviously still a factor in the game. He was at 99 before the at-bat started. So he's now over 100 pitches in the game. The 3-2 again. Fouled back once again. Still 3-2. Meanwhile, the Lawrence Tech women's lacrosse team still down 14-7 in the second half in the WAC championship. Ryan Beadle chased ball 4 there, but fouled it back. So I believe this is the 10th or 11th pitch of this at-bat, as Beadle fouls another one back out of play. And this one fouled again. Both Blunk and Beadle making each other work. This at-bat. Go on a pizza run before this at-bat is over. Try this again. The 3-2, time called. And looking at the Indiana Tech Cornerstone game, Indiana Tech actually mercied Cornerstone 13-0. And there's a ground ball to third. Robinette able to clean it. Makes the throw over to first. An errant throw, though, pulls Corbett off the bag. So Ryan Beadle will win that battle against Blunk. And the leadoff hitter is on. I believe that was 12 or 13 pitches that at bat. There's a lot of fouls there. A few behind the screen, a few into the seats, a couple down the line. But in the end, Beadle takes advantage of that battle and is now on first. Justin Dolney swings and misses at the first offering, 0-1. That was a 13 pitch at bat from Blunk there. He started the at bat at 99, finished it at 112. So that'll hurt his pitch count deeply. He's had innings in the past that were less than 13 pitches. And that was one at bat there. That pitch misses outside, 2-1. Shake of the shoulders from Blunk. Trying to get back in the zone. Wasted a lot of strikes that last at bat. 2-1 now. Justin Dolney at the plate. That one misses as well, 3-1. Still have action in the Blue Devil bullpen. And I assume that'll be used quite soon at this rate. A hard hit grounder to second off Grizel's knee. And Beetle's going to advance to third. So a hard hit ball by Dolney bounces off Grizel's knee and puts runners at the corners for the Wolverines here in the top of the fifth, still with nobody out. Blunk still in the game, though, first and third. And Patrick Downing, who is 1-for-1 in the game with a walk, scored on that walk back in the second, is now at the plate, looks at a first pitch strike. So now that Indiana Tech won game one, they sit at 15-4 with just a few games left. Lawrence Tech sits at 12-6. That pitch misses low, 1-1. Blunk didn't like that call. So LTU would have to win out these last 4 games, and Indiana Tech would have to lose out the next few if LTU wants that conference title. And that bunt laid down foul. Just because if LTU were to win out these last 4 games, they would sit at 16-6. And currently, since Indiana Tech's at 15-4, if they were to lose the next 3, they'd sit at 15-7. But anything else, Indiana Tech would end up staying ahead of Lawrence Tech just because Indiana Tech has that tiebreaker. But as you know, it's the top 2 teams in the WAC that'll host a playoff game. Here's the 1-2. Half swing there from Downing, strike 3. 1 away. So 1 out now for the Blue Devils. Anyways, Madonna sits at 13-6. Gonna look up their schedule right now. But the thing is, against Madonna, even though they split in their head-to-head games, the next tiebreaker goes to whoever has the best record against teams in first place, second place, third place, on down the list. And it looks like Indiana Tech's going to win the conference most likely, but Madonna was able to take both games from Indiana Tech, and Lawrence Tech dropped both games to Indiana Tech. So Madonna also has the tiebreaker over LTU. So if LTU wants to host a playoff game, they're going to have to take it second place outright. So they're going to need a little help from themselves and Madonna as well. 1-1 to the second baseman, John Quintal. John is 0-for-1 today with a strikeout and a sac bunt, and he sac bunts here again, a squeeze play. Blunk able to clean it and throws down to first, but pulls Corbett off the bag. So nice bunt once again from John Quintal to drive in a run to make this game 4-2. Now in favor of the Wolverines. And that's going to be it for Matt Blunk on the day. Still responsible for the runners at first and second, but that'll be it. We'll get a pitching change, and we'll be right back on the Lawrence Tech Sports Network. Kyle Wolter now on the mound for the Blue Devils. He steps into the game with runners on first and second, 1 out. And a bunt shown there by Wayman Lemon Jr., but pulls it back early, called strike. Taking a look at Madonna University, they were able to mercy Lourdes University, so they moved to 13-6. This pitch, a grounder, hit a short. Robinette at third, able to step on the bag over at third. But that's going to be his only play there, but it is a nice one. Gets the leadoff runner and now makes it 2 outs with runners on second and third. So a fielder's choice in the scorebook for Lemon Jr. And now we have 2 outs. Back to the top of the order, Andrew Capone. Andrew's got a couple walks, a run scored, and a fly out to center. Dolney, the runner at second. Quintal, the runner at first. First pitch from Walter. A swing and a miss. Justin Dolney, 3 stolen bases on the season. He's over at second right now. Anyways, Madonna also leads Lourdes in game 2, 6-0. So it's not looking great for the Blue Devils in terms of hosting a playoff game, but they should be okay as of now to be in the playoffs. Obviously, not everything is clinched just yet, but they are 3 games ahead of 6th place. Cornerstone currently in 6th at 11-9. Lawrence Tech at 12-6, so actually they're 2 games ahead. But Cornerstone does not play just yet. Let me check their schedule. Grounder hit to first. Corbett able to clean it nicely. Step on the bag at first for the final out of the inning. So the Blue Devils put a lot of men on in that inning, but still give up just 1 run for the 4th time this game in 5 innings. Blue Devils down 4-2. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th. This is the home for Blue Devil baseball. Brian Corbett for the Blue Devils will lead off the bottom of the 5th inning. LTU down 4-2. Dearborn scored 1 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third, none in the 4th, and 1 in the 5th. LTU with 1 in the first, 1 in the second. And now we're here in the bottom of the 5th. 2-0 early on Corbett. Make that 3-0. So Indiana Tech, as I mentioned, they mercied Cornerstone game 1, taking them on right now in game 2. So Cornerstone drops to 11-10. And they're currently in the middle of their last game of the season right now, so it looks like all they can do now is sit back and wait for a couple other teams to see what they want to do in terms of reaching that sixth and the final playoff spot in the WAC. So full count now on Brian Corbett. And he lost him. Leadoff runner on for the Blue Devils. Jackson Malkowiak will step up to the plate. Currently trying to find the current score for the Indiana Tech Cornerstone game. And looking at Cornerstone's Twitter, that ball gets away from the catcher, and Corbett, nice heads-up base running, able to move up to second on the first pitch of the at-bat. Getting better at these graphics, I think. So currently, as I was saying, Cornerstone and Indiana Tech are tied right now, 3-3 in the bottom of the fourth. 1-0 to Walkowiak outside, 2-0. So if Indiana Tech goes on to win that game, they will clinch the WAC. They'd be at 16-4 with just 2 games left to play. Actually, I can't say that just yet. If they go to 16-4 and Madonna takes the next game, they'll be at 14-6. So Madonna would have to win both, and Indiana Tech would have to lose both. But Indiana Tech plays Rochester tomorrow, and have a hard time seeing that they'll drop both games. But you never know, any given day. I mean, LTU played Cleary earlier this season and had a fight for both of those wins. So anything could happen here in this conference. This is one of the better conferences in the nation, and we've heard that time and time again from a lot of coaches that I've spoken to over the season. Here's a 3-0 to Walkowiak. Misses inside. He lost him. So early walks for the Blue Devils. And this is a good chance for them to try to tie things up or even possibly take the lead. And now, instead of Logan Barker, Jared Roth will step in. I talked about him pinch hitting for Logan Barker last week. It was one of those just lefties on righty, righty on lefty kind of thing. And although it didn't work out that inning, it's probably the smarter move to make still. Here's the first pitch to Roth. 1-0. But now that Cornerstone dropped game 1, they sit at 11-10. And that makes U of M Dearborn right back in it, sitting at 9-9. Siena Heights also at 9-9, just a couple games out, or game out actually. Half a game out actually after Cornerstone dropped that. They sit at 9-9. Cornerstone at 11-10. That's about it. Lords at 8-11 right now, but they just lost, so they sit at 8-12, so they are now eliminated from playoff contention. Two and one on Roth. Corbett, the runner at second, while Koyak, the runner at first. Here's the 2-1. Misses again, 3-1. And the Lawrence Tech women's lacrosse team, I've been kind of updating you on that. They fought hard, but they drop the WAC championship to Indiana Tech by a score of 14-11. They actually ended up winning that second half. So congratulations on a great conference season to the Lawrence Tech women's lacrosse team. And hopefully not over yet. I know they have an NAIA tournament, as most sports do, so we'll see if they make it into there. And then the men's will start in a couple hours at 5 o'clock. They'll also be playing the 1 seed Indiana Tech for the championship. And Roth is now walked. So bases loaded now for the Blue Devils. Nobody out. Three walks in a row for Dan Boss. And nobody's going to come out to the mound in terms of people from the dugout, but he will get a mound visit from his catcher and the shortstop, it looks like. Ryan Robinette will step up to the plate. Actually, we'll have a pinch hitter here, Tyler Childs, number 15. Tyler is batting .362 on the season, batting .294 in conference play. He typically plays third base as well as Robinette does. And we'll see if he can do anything here. Bases loaded. Nobody out. LTU down 4-2 in the bottom of the fifth. And he hit him. So one pitch and an RBI for Childs, and that makes the game 4-3 Blue Devils. Brian Corbett crosses the plate. Wakowiak to third, Roth to second. And Tyler Childs doing the dirty work for Robinette. Just got in there just to get hit. And now he gets to run. So I would say it's worth it. And now Max Cadman will come up to the plate. He is 1 for 1 today with a walk back in the fourth and a triple down the right field line back in the second. We'll see if he can duplicate that. It's a soft ground to the first, though. First baseman throws home for 1, and that's all they're going to get. So Cadman, with an aggressive at-bat, swings at the first pitch. It's a soft grounder to Dorney, who makes the smart play to Kerr at home for the first out of the inning. So now Roth is the runner at third, Tyler Childs the runner at second, and Cadman stays out to run over at first, and Logan Grizel will be pinch hit for the other second baseman, Nick Allen. One and one now on Allen. Allen, one of the fastest guys on the team. That pitch was outside, 2-1. Just a freshman this season out of Macomb, Michigan. See if he can do something under the pressure here. Down 4-3, bases loaded, 1 out. 2-1 from Boss. Fouled back, 2-2 now. Dobkowski, the leadoff hitter, waits on deck. Two now on Allen. The pitch. Swinging a high fly ball to center field, not deep. Waiting on third is Roth. He will tag, and the throw goes over to third. So the Blue Devils tie this game up at 4-4 off a sacrifice fly from Nick Allen, and Jared Roth crosses the plate to tie this game up. Nice piece of hitting there, a 2-strike sac fly hit to center field. Not much more you could ask for there from Nick Allen, the freshman second baseman. Now that we move to the top of the order, Eddie Dobkowski still not over this inning. Still runners at first and second. Forgot to add in that first run. But it is now 4-4. One and 0. 2 down. There you go. Graphics are updated to the fullest, I promise. Dobkowski, 0 for 2, had a sack bunt back in the 4th. Good hitters count now, though, at 2-0. Wind starting to die down a little bit. Not as windy as we've seen in the past. It's been, that flag out in center's been blowing pretty hard from left to right, but today it's actually kind of mild. It is chilly out there. Everybody with their undershirts on. Coaches with the spring jackets on. Yeah, pitch misses low, 3-0. Childs the runner at second. Cadman the runner at first, the 3-0. Misses high, he lost him. Another walk from Dearborn, and it looks like that's going to be it. And that it will be. They'll bring in a righty to face Storch. So Blue Devils, after tying this game up at 4-4, bases are loaded with 2 outs. We'll see if Harry Storch can do something. We'll be right back on the Lawrence Tech Sports Network. Back here at Jimmy John's Field, Harry Storch will step in with the bases loaded. See if he can do something with it. We got a tie game here in the bottom of the 5th. 2 outs. And the new pitcher in for the Wolverines is number 2, Ramiro Rodriguez. Ramiro, a 5.06 ERA pitcher. 3 games started on the season, 6 games pitched. First pitch in for a strike. Storch, not too much of an aggressive first pitch hitter. Usually likes to take that first pitch. 15 strikeouts for Rodriguez on the season, 8 walks. Here's the 0-1. Ball outside, 1-1. The other games in the WAC right now, Siena Heights, Concordia. Concordia leads that game 8-5. So the 9-9 Siena Heights might drop to 9-10. Here's the 1-1. That one misses just high, 2-1. The strike zone's been tight for much of the game, and you see one there. That one just above the strike zone, right above the belt. So if Siena Heights drops this game and Dearborn can somehow find a way to get this game here, you know, they want it, they'll move to 10-9 and possibly take that 6th spot from Cornerstone. So big game here for both teams. Storch pops this one up, foul ground territory. First baseman camped under it, though, and makes the play. I know you can see it, but that was Justin Dorney over there to make it. So the Blue Devils get 2, but Strand, the bases loaded. 4-4 game. We'll head to the top of the 6th. This is the Lawrence Tech Sports Network. Sean Hannibal takes the first pitch for a ball from Kyle Walter. That one in for a strike, 2-1. Hannibal, 3 singles on the day, 3 for 3. One of them to opposite field, one to the shortstop. And this one, a soft grounder up to center, make it 4 for 4 on the day now. 4 singles for Hannibal. Hannibal batting .346 coming into the game today. And that one sure is going to rise just a little bit more with 4 singles. So now the catcher, Daniel Kerr, steps up, the lefty, against the righty. That one on the outer part of the plate for a strike. This one, a grounder hit to second. There's Allen for 1. The relay will not go. Probably a good place to hold it from Storch there. So the Blue Devils get 1 there on the grounder to Nick Allen, who is now the second baseman. He just pinched hit for Logan Grizel last inning. He flew out to center for a sac fly. So now Daniel Kerr, the runner, over at first. And Antonio Carta will now bat. By the way, some numbers for Kyle Walter. Kyle with a 9.17 ERA this season, all of them in relief, 15 games to be exact. Just 9 strikeouts and 18 walks. 1 out here. Counts 0-1. Kerr, the runner at first. That one's soft grounder, foul. Get you some final lines here for both teams. Malcolm Harris, the starter for the Wolverines, went 2 1/3, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, and just 1 strikeout. Dan Boss also went 2 1/3. He had 5 walks though on 2 earned runs, or 2 earned runs on 5 walks rather, with 1 strikeout. So only a couple strikeouts for the Blue Devils today. 0-2 to Carta. Another throw over to keep Kerr close. Actually a pinch runner down there for the Wolverines. That's Cole Van Wagener. We've seen him already a couple times today. Cole has a few stolen bases on the season. Here's the 0-2 now. That one just misses, 1-2. And then for the Blue Devils, final lines, Matt Blunk went 4 1/3, 4 earned runs on 7 hits, 4 walks, and just 3 strikeouts on 124 pitches and not even 5 innings. So, a pickoff attempt over there. Almost got away from Corbett. So not the best outing from Blunk there. Usually Eldridge wants an outing to be 5 innings, giving up 2 earned runs or less. Actually 3 earned runs or less. But Blunk couldn't get it done. He lost the zone a lot early on as Antonio Carta swings through one and misses there for the second out of the inning. Now the designated hitter, Ryan Beadle. He's 2 for 3 today with a run scored back in the 5th. Kyle Wolter, however, doing a pretty solid job in relief. He's got 1 1/3 innings under his belt, and as I say that, he hits Beadle right on the side, and Beadle will take his base to first. Even with that, Wolter's still doing a pretty solid job. 1 hit. Actually, a couple hits and a hit by pitch. And we're going to get a word from Eldridge here. We'll see if we got a pitching change or not. Doesn't look like it. So Justin Dolney will step in now. He's also got a couple singles on the day. This entire middle of the lineup doing pretty well with singles. That's all the Wolverines have today other than walks and hit by pitches, of course. It's just a lot of singles. Got 8 hits up on the board. But I believe it's actually more than that. First pitch to Justin Dolney. Fouled off, 0-1. Runners on first and second. 2 away. Kerr, the runner over at second. Actually, Van Wagener, the runner at second, a pinch runner. That pitch hits the outer part of the plate. 0-2 early on Dolney. Here's Wolter with the 0-2. Just misses, 1-2. Nice giveaway pitch there. Just barely misses, trying to force him to swing at a pitch out of the zone. Possibly get him to chase. 1-2 now on Dolney. Swing and a miss. He got him on strikes. So the Blue Devils give up a couple singles and a hit by a pitch. But the Wolverines cannot score. They go 0 in the top of the 6th. The Blue Devils will try to take the lead here in the bottom of the 6th. Tie game 4-4. This is the Lawrence Tech Sports Network. Sean Fannin fouls the first pitch back. Sean Fannin with a couple singles in today's game, doing pretty solid job. See what he can do here as the leadoff hitter. 0-1 misses high. Ramiro Rodriguez still working out on the mound. He came in to wrap up the 5th inning. Did a pretty solid job. But hits Fannin there. I've seen quite a few hit by pitches here today. Corbett's been hit once, Walkowiak's been hit once, and now Fannin been hit once. Obviously, none of them on purpose. A couple big games for both of these teams, so never going to give any of these guys a free chance on base, especially with the two outstanding lineups these guys are putting in, two of the top offenses in the WAC. So Fannin has got some speed over at first. We'll see what they do with him. Stays on the first pitch. First pitch in for a strike to Corbett. Rodriguez, a long look in. Fannin fakes the go. Fouled back from Corbett. 0-2. Corbett 0 for 1 on the day. Flew out to right back in the first inning. Was hit by a pitch in the 3rd and then walked in the 5th. So 2 for 3 if you count his on-base percentage, but 0 for 1, not counting those. Here's the 0-2 to Corbett. Fouled back once again. Here's the 0-2 again to Corbett. That one in the dirt. Fannin doesn't go anywhere. Daniel Curry able to keep that one in front of him. 1-2. Time called by Corbett. Here's the line score from today's game. Dearborn with one in the first, second, third, fourth, and fifth, or in the fifth, not the fourth, pardon me. And the Blue Devils, one in the first, one in the second, and two in the fifth. Dearborn, 4 runs on 8 hits. LTU, 4 runs on just 2 hits. And strike 3 there from Corbett. Tipped it into the glove, 1 down. That'll go down as a strikeout. Jackson Wakowiak in. That pitch just misses. And he got him down at second. Fannin caught, stealing. So now we got 2 outs and nobody on. Not much. How's it going? Pitch in for a strike. 2-1 now, and nobody on, and 2 outs rather than a guy on and 1 out. So we'll see if Wakowiak can get something started now with 2 outs. That one misses. 3-1. That one just misses. 4-1, and Wakowiak will take a base. So now that Wakowiak is on, we'll see if Jared Roth can do something with him. 4-4 tie here in the bottom of the 6th. That one just misses. Not a great game offensively so far for the Blue Devils. Just a couple hits, a lot of walks and hit by pitches, and they got Wakowiak picked off, but a bad throw by the catcher, Daniel Kerr, allows Wakowiak to take second. It was an interesting play there. I'm not really sure what happened. Wakowiak looked like he attempted to take second, but didn't think he got a great jump. It was kind of caught in between first and second. Ultimately decided to go to second, but a bad throw there from Kerr allows him to stay at second. So now with a runner in scoring position, this is a good chance for Jared Roth to take advantage of it, and that's what Coach always loves to see, taking advantage of plays like that and making them pay for those mistakes. That one misses way outside, and Wakowiak now advances to third. So a couple poor plays there by the Wolverines allows Wakowiak to get all the way to third. And there was nobody on with 2 outs, and now we got a runner on third with 2 outs. It is 2-1 on Roth. While Kowiak, the runner at third. Here's the pitch. Grounder down the first baseline, foul. Make it 2-2. Roth batting .278 this season with 2 outs. But he's also batting .349 with runners on. He's got 7 2-out RBIs this season. Fouls that one away. Still 2-2. This would be a big RBI here if you get to it. Nobody was on with 2 outs, so if they can get a 2-out run here, it'd be very important. Give Kyle Walter a bit of momentum, as he most likely will retake the mound in the 7th. But Roth swings and misses through one there. So that'll end the inning. So the Blue Devils threaten with 2 outs but do not score. We'll head to the top of the 7th. 4-4 tie between the Wolverines and Blue Devils here on the Lawrence Tech Sports Network. Kyle Walter back out for another inning of work. Patrick Downing is at the plate. Patrick 1 for 2 today with a run scored and a single. Scored the run off a walk back in the 2nd inning. That pitch misses as well. 2-0. 3-0 rather. .3-0 pitch misses inside. Ball 4 straight pitches. Not a great start for Walter there. Walter's been pretty solid so far in this middle relief role. And that's what Coach loves about him. He's got the confidence to go in tight situations, knowing he can have success. Coach said he's been a very important part of the middle inning bullpen relief, such as situations like we had today where Matt Blunk was only able to go a little over 4 innings. Walter's the kind of guy that can get you 3 to 4 innings if need be. And it's definitely needed right now. We got another game after this, doubleheader tomorrow, as John Quintal swings through one there, 0-1. That pitch misses high, 1-1. Quintal, a sac bunt, strikeout today. Sac bunt allowed Patrick Downing to move up. He eventually came around to score back in the second. Swings through one there, 1-2. So initially I thought we'd be seeing a pretty high-powered offensive game, but anytime there's been a lot of runners left on base. And we only have a 4-4 game here. And LTU's only got 2 hits off a Dearborn team that's been struggling defensively and on the mound. They've had some good at-bats at the plate, forced a lot of walks, a lot of hit-by pitches, but the power just hasn't been there today. Haven't seen a lot of hard-hit balls, really. That one misses inside, 3-2 now. Wayman Lemon Jr. waiting on deck. Here's the 3-2. Swung on and just fouled. Just barely got a piece of it. Tigers finally dropped below 500 last night. They lost, I believe it was 12-11. But then you got a lot of teams that are somewhere where it seems like they really shouldn't be. Runner goes, swing and a miss, throw down, gets into center field. Patrick Downing will earn himself a stolen base, but the hit and run fails. John Quintal can't go anywhere with a swing. I guess I wouldn't necessarily call it a hit and run. It still was a full count. But the runner moves up, basically just like a sac bunt. So now the 9-hole hitter, Wayman Lemon Jr. Wayman had one of the critical at-bats in this game. The bases were loaded with 1 out back in the 3rd inning, and he had a soft ground ball only a few feet in front of the catcher, and Max Cadman made the nice play, took it, stepped on the bag, and threw it on to first to complete the double play, and now we're at a 4-4 game still. But he hits a soft line drive pop-up to Harry Storch at second for the 2nd out. Fresh count on the graphics. Now the top of the order, Andrew Capone heads to the plate. Coach Eldridge having a word with umpire here. Looks like he was getting word to talk with his pitcher real quick. Back to the MLB. A lot of teams in weird positions right now. Seattle 18-11, they're leading the division. Tampa Bay 16-9, they lead their division. And the Yankees, even with all their injured players they've had this season, they're 15-11 this season. They're 8-2 in the last 10. Meanwhile, Boston still struggling pitching-wise. I think almost all 5 of their starters had an ERA near 8, which was unimpressive, but impressive if you know what I mean there, I guess. It's kind of impressive that a lot of good pitchers can have an ERA of 8. Chris Sale was still looking for his first win on the season. So Andrew Capone now ready to hit. Kyle Walter stays in the game. Runner at second is Downing, 2 away. That pitch hits the outer part of the plate, 0-1. Top of the 7th here at Jimmy John's Field. 0-1 in the dirt. 1-1. Downing doesn't go anywhere down at second. Nice pitch there at 81 miles an hour in for a strike. 1-2 now. To Capone, the center fielder. Capone still 0 for 2 on the day. Fly out, ground out to first back in the fifth, and a couple walks. Capone choked up on the bat just a bit. Here's the 1-2. A hard ground ball hit between Corbin and Allen. They're going to send the runner home. The throw in will not be in time. The Dearborn Wolverines take a 5-4 lead here in the top of the seventh. A nice piece of two-out hitting by the leadoff hitter, Andrew Capone there. Choked up, just tried to make contact on it and put it where the fielders were not. And a nice two-out RBI from Andrew Capone gives the Wolverines a 5-4 lead. Now the shortstop, Sean Hannibal, comes in. Sean's reached base all 4 times. And a hard hit line drive to third. Tyler Childs there to stop it, though. So the leadoff hitter for the Wolverines gets on by a walk, steals a base, and then Andrew Capone singles him in with 2 outs to give the Wolverines a 5-4 lead. We'll head to the bottom of the 7th. This is the Lawrence Ducks Sports Network. Tyler Childs will lead off the Blue Devils as they try to attempt to grab that run back that they allowed in the top of the 7th. They're now down 5-4. Let me change that. Still working on the graphics. 1-1 to Childs. Childs pinched hit for Robinette back in the 5th inning, was hit on the first pitch. Could not come around to score. The Blue Devils did end up scoring 2 that inning. That one fouled back as well. 1-2 now. Ramiro Rodriguez doing a pretty solid job so far. And gets Childs swing there, drop third strike. Childs down to third. But Daniel Kerr able to come back up with it and complete the play down to Dorney. One away. Blue Devils Wolverines will play game 2, probably about 30 to 45 minutes after game 1 here ends. So I'm guessing probably a 5 o'clock start time. Maybe a little later. First pitch misses. 1-0. Max Cadman, the catcher. Max had a big triple back in the second inning. Ended up scoring Ryan Robinette, but he could not come around to score himself. Next pitch fouled off 1-1. Max, one of the team leaders, both on the field and off the field, has a very strong arm as a catcher. Hits a hard grounder to second. John Quintal there. Bobbles it a bit, cleans it up, and just beats Cadman by a step. So quick 2 outs for Rodriguez as Nick Allen steps in now. He took over for Logan Grizel back in the 5th inning. He pinched hit a sac fly, scored one of the 2 runs back in the 5th. Oh, 1 breaking ball hits the outer part of the plate for a called second strike. 0-2 now on Allen. Rodriguez trying to make this a quick bottom of the 7th inning. Here's the 0-2. Swung on and missed. An 88-mile-an-hour fastball blew it right by him. So a quick 1-2-3 inning for the Wolverines and Ramiro Rodriguez. And we'll head to the top of the 8th where the Blue Devils try to hold it at a 5-4 lead. This is the Lawrence Tech Sports Network. Daniel Kerr will lead off for the Wolverines. And we have a new pitcher on the mound for the Blue Devils, number 18, Ben Schmidt. That one fouled away, 0-2. Ben, a freshman this season out of Northville, Michigan. One of the go-to guys in this bullpen. And because he's so tall, he's got some good tilt on his pitches. His velocity it's up there now. And he picked up baseball in high school, so relatively new to the sport. Here's the 0-2, a soft fly ball out to left field. And a nice play by Jackson Walkowiak to put it away. Walkowiak took a couple steps in at first. I thought it was a soft fly ball too, but eventually took a few more steps back. But nonetheless, puts the first out away. Antonio Carta, the cleanup hitter. He's got a single and a sac fly today. Meanwhile, Ben Schmidt, 18 games appeared in, none of them started, 4.5 ERA, 5-1 on the season, 23 strikeouts, 18 walks on the season. Opposing batting average of .239. So he's had a pretty solid season for a freshman. Coach also said he was going to really be pushing the starters for one of those jobs next season. Right now, the 4 starters, Brace, Blunk, Wichurkowski. And I'm blanking on that last one. And Jay Gallant, who we've seen a few times. These last few games, we've seen Blunk and Wichurkowski. But I assume tomorrow we'll see Brace and Gallant. Obviously not here, but out in northwestern Ohio against the Racers. The 1-2 just misses, 2-2. Once we get into that second game, in between games, I'll write down some of those scores around the league. Give you a quick update on where everything stands. A hard hit ball hit in between Corbett and Allen off of Allen's glove into right field, and Carta will be the first runner on for the Wolverines this inning. Not many hits for the Blue Devils today. 9, make that 10 for the Wolverines. I think some of the hits or walks for the Blue Devils, I think 1 or 2 were actually a hit, but they put them down as a walk or hit by pitch. So I think it's more than 2, but still not many hits against one of the lower pitching staffs in the league. That just goes to show how any team can win any game in this conference. Doesn't matter where you're ranked in batting average, ERA, fielding. You could have one good day or one bad day, and you'll easily take the loss as well as you could easily take a win against one of the lower ranked teams. Ryan Beadle now at the plate. Ben Schmidt, first pitch, gets through the catcher just a bit. Cadman still finds it. Nobody goes. Kyle Walters' final line, 2 2/3. Gave up 1 earned run on 2 hits, 3 strikeouts, and 1 walk. Hard hit ground ball to Storch. Storch steps on second himself for 1. The relay to first is in time. A double play to end the inning. Blue Devils still down 5-4, however. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th where they try to tie this thing up or possibly take the lead. This is the home for Blue Devil baseball. Ramiro Rodriguez tries to continue his dominance as we head into the 8th inning. And the Wolverines lead 5-4. Soft ground ball hit to third. Antonio Carta there makes the nice throw and puts away the first out of the inning. A tough play made to look easy there by Carta. It's not an easy throw to make, especially to get the leadoff runner, a speedy Dobkowski. Rodriguez now with 2 2/3 inning pitched. No hits, no runs, just 1 walk and 4 strikeouts. So it's really been a strong setup, guys, so far this game. He's already got the first out here. Storch showed bunt, pulled it back, called strike though. 0-1. Storch walked back in the first inning, came around to score, but now hasn't done much since. A couple groundouts and a pop-up. Half swing there, 1-2. He popped up back in the 5th inning with the bases loaded with 2 outs, and he actually popped up in foul territory. Here's the 1-2. And for a called third strike, strike 3. So Ramiro Rodriguez continuing his dominant setup outing right now. Had a quick 1-2-3 inning 7th and is on pace to do the same thing here in the 8th, but this time with the top of the order. We'll see if Sean Fannin can slow him down a little bit. Sean's been hit twice today, had a single back in the 3rd. First pitch, a nice breaking ball at 74 miles an hour. It's got a nice cut to it. It's a late cut, too. 0-1 in the dirt at 82 miles an hour. For as dominant as Rodriguez has been in these couple innings so far, makes his 5 ERA pretty surprising, to be honest. Really nice off-speed pitch there at 72 miles an hour to a good hitter in Sean Fannin. Now 1-2. Rodriguez, a little bit of a quick worker. Here's the 1-2. A hard chopped ground ball into left field for a base hit. So Sean Fannin gets the first single for the Blue Devils in 3 innings. And we'll see if the cleanup hitter Brian Corbett can do something with 2 outs here. Gonna have a mound visit here. Don't believe we're gonna have a pitching change. Nobody's up in the bullpen for the Wolverines. And Rodriguez is doing really solid right now on the mound. Probably just a little bit of advice on how to pitch to Corbett, or maybe even watch out for Fannin. 2 outs, nobody on second or third. There is a good chance that Fannin could be off on the pitch. Try to give Corbett the opportunity to drive someone in or drive Fannin in with a single. So we'll keep an eye on Fannin. Fannin, one of the faster runners on this team. He's got 11 stolen bases. It's 3rd on the team in 14 attempts. First pitch outside, ball 1. 2 outs, runners on first, as I put that up on the graphic. 2 down. 1-0 count to Corbett. Corbett's been on twice today, neither from a single or a hit in general. Throw over to first. Keep Fannin close. Rodriguez out of Southgate, Michigan, a sophomore. Throws over to Fannin once again. Corbett's been labeled as one of the most improved players on this team. especially in the offensive side. Here's the 1-0 in the dirt, and that gets away from the catcher, Daniel Kerr, and Fannin advances to second. So he didn't even have to try to steal there. Got a free base there. And now a single could possibly drive in Fannin and that tying run. Tying run out at second. Corbett the go-ahead run at the plate. 2-0 on Corbett. A good hitter's count. See if he can do something with it here. 2-0 just misses. Turns it into 3-0 now. See if they give Corbett the green light. Doesn't look like he's anxious to hit this. Takes a strike. 3-1. Still a good hitter's count. Jackson Wakowiak waiting on deck. We'll see if he gets a chance to hit. Three and one, and off speed pitch, 75 miles an hour. Gets Corbett to swing at that one. Now full count. Probably would have been called a ball there. Rodriguez on the mound. Fannin at second. Full count. Corbett at the plate. 2 down. Here's the pitch. Fouled down the right field line. We'll try it again now. Fannin the runner at second. 3-2 count to Corbett. The pitch. Misses outside. He lost him. Now the go-ahead run at first. Tying run still at second. So not the worst thing in the world for the Wolverines to lose that at bat. Now puts a force out anywhere, except for home, obviously. Jackson Wakowiak, a couple walks and a hit by pitch today. And now it looks like we're going to get a pitching change for the Wolverines. So after a single and a walk, Ramiro Rodriguez will end his day here. Still a really solid outing for the Wolverine pitcher. We'll get a pitching change, and we'll be right back here on the Lawrence Tech Sports Network. Matt Buhagiar is now on the mound for the Wolverines, while Koyak at the plate. Fouled back, first pitch. Buhagiar has a 4 ERA this season, 3-1 record, no games started, 7 games appeared in. He's got 11 strikeouts, 9 walks, and opposing batting average of just .212. 0-1 to Wakoyak. Wakoyak has 9 2-out RBIs this season. See if we can get a couple more here. The 0-1. In the dirt, Fannin off to third, no throw. Fannin advances to third. And it's a pinch runner down there at second. Can't tell exactly who that is right now. But he advanced to second as well. That's Adam Mansfield down at second. So now no force anywhere except for first, 1-1. And here's the pitch again. It's the lower corner of the zone, 1-2. This is where you got to take advantage of those opportunities. Started with 2 outs from a single from Fannin, a walk from Corbett. Now runners on second and third, and a new pitcher in to face Wakoyak. Buhagiar sets with the 1-2 and delivers. Fouled away. Here's the 1-2 once again. Hitting a drive out to left field, but it'll be caught out there by Wayman Lemon Jr. So the Blue Devils threaten with 2 outs, but do not score. Still down 5-4. We'll head to the top of the ninth as the Blue Devils still try to hold it at a 5-4 lead. This is the Lawrence Tech Sports Network. Ben Schmidt out there trying to hold this game at a 5-4 lead for the Wolverines. Misses the first one, ball 1. Justin Dolney, the first baseman, taking on Schmidt right now. He's got a couple singles today. Wolverines out hitting the Blue Devils 10-3, but only outscoring them 5-4. That one just misses inside, 2-1. Popped up right side, first baseman. Corbett tries to catch it. And he can't get there. It's actually Walkowiak out at first now. Adam Mansfield moves to left. Two now on Dolney. Dolney struck out also this game. That one misses, full count now. Can't afford to give up any more runs here in the top of the ninth. Just based on what we've seen from the Blue Devil hitters right now, it hasn't seemed like they've been on their game much today. 3-2, a hard ground ball hit to Storch. Storch makes the play, makes the throw, and Walkowiak makes the stretch. We've seen a lot of those nice plays from Storch out there at short. And he's shown why he's an everyday starter, hitting over 300, and he makes those plays look easy out there at short, and they are definitely not. So one away, Patrick Downing, now the hitter. Ben Schmidt doing a pretty solid job thus far on holding it at a 5-4 lead. First pitch misses. Dolney also, or Downing rather, with a single under his belt. Also has a couple walks and 2 runs scored. Drives this one out to left field. This one is back and deep, but just foul. Missed being a home run by about 6 to 8 feet, it looks like. It would have been gone. It was over the fence, but just not fair enough. 1-1 now. Nice pitch in the outer part of the plate. 1-2 to Downing. Schmidt's command has really been on these short couple innings that he's thrown so far. The 1-2. High fly ball deep into left field. Mansfield back, camps under it and puts it away, though, at the edge of the warning track. So a couple of deep balls hit by Downing out to left, but neither of them do the job. 2 down here in the top of the ninth. 315 out there to left, 320 to right, 395 to center. John Quintal takes a questionable first pitch strike on the outer part of the plate. Next pitch also in for a strike. Down in the count early. Didn't like either of those calls. First pitch seemed to be a bit outside. Second one seemed to be in there. But with the tight strike zone down there, you never know. Could have been a little high. Here's the 0-2. Just misses outside. 1-2 now. Schmidt's faced the minimum 5 batters so far. Got the first man in the 8th inning to fly out. Next one had a single, but then grounded into a double play was Beetle. Swung on and missed there. Strike 3. So Ben Schmidt does a nice job facing the minimum 6 batters in 2 innings, and the Blue Devils will have to find their way across home plate if they want a chance to win Game 1 here of 2 against the Wolverines. Head to the bottom of the ninth. Blue Devils down 5-4. This is the Lawrence Tech Sports Network. 6, 7, 8 hitters for the Blue Devils as they try to get a run up on the board to at least tie this game here in the bottom of the ninth. Jared Roth, Tyler Childs, Max Cadman are set to hit for the Blue Devils. Matt Buhagiar back out on the mound. Starts off with a first slow pitch breaking ball that must have hit the upper part of the plate for a called strike one. Matt, a senior, came out of Schoolcraft College. 0-1 in the dirt to Roth. Make it 1-1 now. Roth came in to pinch hit for Barker earlier in the game. Struck out in his last at-bat back in the 6th. See what he can do here. Here's the 1-1. Misses outside, 2-1. Here's the 2-1 to Roth. Misses again low, 3-1. Good hitters count here. We'll see if Roth takes a pitch or just tries to look for his pitch to hit. See what happens. Tyler Childs due up next. Tyler, a 362 hitter. We'll see what happens here. The 3-1. Misses low. He lost him. So after a first pitch strike, Jared Roth advances to first. Now Tyler Childs to the plate, and it looks like we are going to get a pinch something. And it looked like they're grabbing the bullpen catcher out to pinch run for Jared Roth. We'll find out who that is. That is number 2, Max Mooring. And I believe Max Mooring is going to be the catcher in the second game. He typically is, but he's actually one of the fastest guys on the team, by far the fastest catcher on the team. So we'll see what he can do. Maybe he'll take a base here. But Tyler Childs now at the plate. First pitch shows bunt, pulls it back, called strike one. Max probably trying to catch his breath out there at first after hustling from the bullpen, taking his stuff off and then hustling back out to first in a matter of about a minute. Here's the 0-1 to Tyler. Tyler also pinch hitting in today's game. Struck out in his last at-bat, shows bunt, lays it down. And he does his job. Matt Buhagiar takes the easy out over to first, and Tyler Childs advances the runner, Max Mooring, to second, now with one out. So Blue Devils doing what they do best there, playing small ball. So the tying run is Max Mooring over at second, and Max Cadman, his other catcher, is now at the plate. Max obviously had that triple back in the second. That would definitely be a big help here. One down. First pitch, it's the inner part of the plate. Strike one. An off-speed pitch there. Seen a lot of those so far from Buhagiar. Mooring does have the speed to where if it was a single hit anywhere, I believe he probably could score, unless it's a super hard hit ball. But I believe they send him anyways. Here's the 0-1. Fouled back out of play from Cadman, 0-2. Down in the count early. We'll see if we get another breaking ball here. Breaking ball's been a good pitch for Matt so far. Chase Kaufman here with you in the bottom of the 9th inning at Jimmy John's Field in Utica, Michigan. Blue Devils down 5-4 in a big game against the Wolverines. Here's the 0-2. It's a line drive hit into center field, and this one's going to drop. They're going to send Morin home. The throw comes in. And it's in time. It was an off throw. It was to the right side of home plate, and the catcher, Daniel Kerr, had to come around and get Morin from the side. And apparently he just got him. So the tying run is tagged out at the plate, and now we have 2 outs with just a runner on first. What a throw out there by center fielder Andrew Capone. It was a nice tag at home, too, by Daniel Kerr. A nice play all the way around. And Cadman, although he singles into center, wasn't enough. As Max Morin, the pinch runner, tagged out at the plate. So now the pinch hitter for Nick Allen is Luke Lambert, the lefty. Luke, a junior out of Grand Rapids. So 2 down here in the bottom of the 9th. Max Cadman now the runner over at first. First pitch misses outside, 1-0. Coach Eldred was all the way down to home to watch that play, and he thought he got in safely. Home plate umpire did not think so. 1-0 on Lambert now. Buhagiar still the pitcher. 2 down. In the dirt, 2-0. Cadman going to take a base if he can. Definitely would help. A single from Lambert here probably wouldn't score Cadman from first, but it could score him from second. So Cadman's got to be heads up over there at first and take a base if possible. 2-0 now. That one misses low as well. 3-0. Probably will be taking here in order to get to the top of the order and move a runner up to second. Don't think he'll swing at this pitch, no matter where it's at. That one in for a strike. 3-1 now. Luke Lambert at the plate, pinch hitting for Nick Allen. Here's the 3-1. Ground ball between short and third, stopped by the shortstop. Throw over the second baseman's head. And Max Cadman heads over to third. And looks like we're going to get a pinch runner for Lambert. We got runners on the corners now. After that throw, well, the nice stop from Sean Hannibal over at short. Tried to make the throw over to John Quintal, but threw it over his head. Now we got runners at the corners with 2 outs. So a quick mound visit from UM-Dearborn. And we will have a pinch runner for Luke Lambert. Trying to figure out who that is down there. But a nice piece of two-out hitting from Lambert there to keep this game alive and move the pinch runner Max Mooring over to third. Eddie Dobkowski, the leadoff hitter, now steps at the plate. Looks like it's Mackenzie McGough out there to pinch run. Can't tell for sure, though. Get that real quick. Here's the first pitch to Dobkowski, way in the dirt, at least 2 feet in front of the plate for ball 1. That pitch misses as well. 2-0. Tying run over at third is Max Mooring. That pitch just in there. 2-1 now. I believe it is Mackenzie McGough out there over at first to pinch run for Luke Lambert. Actually, I don't know if it is Mackenzie McGough. I think Mackenzie is actually out for the season, so I'm not sure who that is out there. I think it's number 6, actually, and that would be Logan Grizel, which is definitely possible considering Logan's the second baseman and Lambert just pinched hit for the second baseman. And Grizel easily takes second. That was interesting, to say the least. Grizel got an early jump, stopped a few feet before second, and the pitcher, Matt Buhagier, didn't even step off. So now runners at second and third. I know it says first on the graphics, but it won't let me change it right now, with 2-2 count. Here's the pitch. It is single into right field. They'll score 1. The tied run is in. The throw to the plate. Not in time. LTU with a walk-off single to take game 1 by a score of 6-5. Eddie Dobkowski, the hero of the game. And what a walk-off it was from the Blue Devils, taking game 1 6-5. They struggled early in the game, couldn't get much going offensively, but with a couple singles here in the bottom of the 9th inning, the Blue Devils able to take game 1 away from the Wolverines. Started out with a walk in the start of the inning from Jared Roth. Was eventually pushed over to second after Max Mooring pinch ran for him, and from a sac bunt from Tyler Childs. Max Cadman singled to center. Mooring was thrown out at home, but then Cadman scored the tying run. Logan Grizel moved up to second, able to come around to score the winning run off an Eddie Dobkowski's single. And the Blue Devils take game 1 of 2 here at Jimmy John's Field by a score of 6-5. Game 2 will probably start around 5 o'clock, so don't go anywhere as the Blue Devils try to continue their run at a top 2 playoff spot here in the WAC Conference. I'm Chase Kaufman. Blue Devils take game 1 of 2, 6-5. Don't go anywhere.